123 of this charismatic French bulldog Hank will be waiting for him at home and will be saying, woof, 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 woof.
Very lucky he didn't do the first hour because he could have quite literally been a fish out of water, but thankfully for Nemo, he knows how to navigate these conditions.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. Right on cue, Simon Bishop says, "Where's your voice, Trev?" Well, here it is. And welcome along to round one, which continues tonight in the GT3 series, season 6 of KRL. And it's an absolute pleasure to have you here, Fiona, Princess Fiona, VIP. Oi! Princess Fiona is along for the ride, and everybody else whose names I have missed. God bless every one of you on this Anzac Day, and a special tribute to kick off our stream, lest we forget, and hope you had a good Anzac Day right around the country. As we take a look at JJ Norms on your screen, he's down in P12, and we do have another split qualifying here this evening. Split quali format, 22-minute session. We missed a couple of minutes at the top there. First 10 minutes is for Pro-Am and Am drivers only. When the timer hits 12, ding ding, it is time to finish your lap if you're one of those guys I mentioned, and return to the pits when it hits 10 minutes. The big guns are out to play as somebody is spamming the chat there, and they have been appropriately banned by the man alongside me who has a bear rug in his front lounge room. The bear's still alive, it's just too scared to say anything. I welcome Chuck Norris alongside me for another evening, GT3 style. Chuck, great to have you along for the ride.
Trev, it's good to be back, and you know, we kicked off the new KRL season, I should say, with GT2s last night around here, and the qualifying didn't disappoint. And looking at the timing charts at the moment, looks like we're almost having a repeat of last night, except, as you mentioned, Trev, we're back here in the GT3s. So yeah, looking nice and close between Rigsy and Dusk at the front, with Rain of Fire and Immortal Nick not too far behind.
Now, before I introduce my our next commentator here, he's roaming Jason, or Justin as I think he was called last night, as the one and only Chuck Norris. Thank you, Daniel. Hope you're following the channel. Of course he is. I welcome the man alongside us. Once again, he was here last night. He just thought, you know what, I'm going to start at the back. And he ended up P4 in his own class. That's right. What a race he had. Wason Jilko. Oh, boy. Geez, I'm a visual person, and that just completely threw me out. I'm talking of Jason Wilkinson. He is here tonight. And Wilco, we're hearing that one of several drivers could win tonight. And I know that seems fairly obvious, but 7 potential winners here tonight.
Oh yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. Back Rigsy, he's been not allowed to race for the last 6 months, I think he's been, so he's had a bit of an injury, and he's back tonight and straight away top of the time charts at the moment with our race winner last night just popping into P2. But in terms of the overall race tonight, there is plenty of cars. And let's just go through this pro field quickly. We've got the defending champ, someone awesome. We haven't really sort of mentioned him too much, but he won the GT3 season. Sorry, as a burp, a couple of drinks this afternoon, but that's all right. Yeah, someone awesome won the championship last year. That's why he's got the number 1 on the door. So he's going to be quick. You got Distinct Andrew making his KRL debut. He's going to be quick. You got Hainsey making his KRL GT3 debut. He's going to be quick. You got Zest coming in for tonight. He's going to be quick. Vigo's going to be quick. Willstar's going to be quick. Binger's not going to be quick, but he's my teammate, so I can say that. Mint Matt, he's going to be quick. Noodle's going to be quick. Norm's going to be quick, and of course, Cywag, my good friend Cywag. He's going to be he'll be pretty quick too. He's a good pedaler. He's actually in the which makes me feel very sick. But apart from that, any one of these pro guys can win tonight, but it's not about them at the moment. It's about these Pro-Am and AMs. We've got Ernie Drongo leading the AMs at the moment. Nismo and Spawn looking very close, but yeah, it's looking quite tight up the top. And Bentley is back.
The Bentley is back in a big way. Let's have a look at Ernie here coming through this part of the lap. And what can he do here? He's currently sitting in P12. He's leading his class, of course, though, isn't he? As he comes through the chute. Yes! And fantastic! How good is that? Matty Boy 2020 just subscribed. And he was around last night, of course, and he's back again, Chuck Norris. These subs, we're 1 away from our goal of 22 subs. That's very specific, but we're 1 away. And how good is that? And there's somebody in the chat there that's all naughty, naughty.
3, 2, 1, and banned by Voodoo.
Banned by Voodoo has banned Lumpy. And boy, take your business somewhere else if you don't mind, because let's have a look at
Craig.
Stewie Wilson and Craigo to the top. There is nothing between these top 3. Nick can win, Das can win, Mac Miller can win. Basically what Jason Wilkinson was saying was that it's not so much about who can win, it's about who will win, and there's not many people who cannot win here this evening. And let me tell you, we've got less than 12 minutes to go. How long? No, we've hit that 12-minute mark, haven't we,
so this
Wilco?
should be, so this will be everyone finishing their lap now, if everyone has listened to me. This should be the end of quali, so everyone should be finishing their lap, as you see Sideways Polka's pulling off. Ernie Drongo should hopefully pull off in a minute. But yeah, Car 51 is the next one. Where is he? Car 51.
Let's have a look at Car 51 coming through to complete the lap. Sniper. Coming through to complete the lap, currently P10. What's it going to be? Slight improvement there, Wilco, but not quite enough to jump Ernie.
No, let's go to car 87, which is Mr. Rain of Fire. He's in P6 in the Honda. Again, there's cars that are getting rolled out tonight. We've got the Honda, we've got the Lexus, we've got Mac in the Lexus, and I think there was, Jackie Prez in the Lexus too. We've got the Bentleys making a comeback, so we've got a couple of old school cars coming out tonight, which is always good to see. Yeah. But Darst around the last corner now too.
Yeah, let's have a look at Darst across the line. We just managed to...
And Shawnee Fuller and then Mark are the last 2 to cross the line here. And that is the Mark jumps up to P9, but that is the Pro-Am and Am quali done. So now we wait 15 seconds until the Pro Boys come out, and yeah, good luck picking who's going to get pole tonight, because as I said, there's all of them get it, besides Binger.
Well, Daniel just advising us that this will be harder to pick than a broken nose, because look at the names, look at them lining up here. Mint, Matt, Figo, whatever we want to call him, but look at the names here. Noodles, and that's a very nice McLaren livery there. Sideorg as well, Willstar, big names here, Jason Wilkinson.
Yes, big names, that's always good.
As we see the cars coming out onto the circuit, they're going to be looking to get some clear air on their opening runs. Distinct Andrew in the only BMW. No, there's another one in there, Kilroy, I beg your pardon. And Distinct Andrew, very quick, no matter what you put him in. Anything with 4 wheels, no matter what game it is. GT7 champion, of course.
I'm sure he's very good on MotoGP too.
2 wheels, 4 wheels, some things without wheels. He can usually get the job done, can't he? And Tombo, and big Tombo now. Tombo 25 now following. And it's a good thing that the Nigerian Prince is out of the commentary box. He gets a little bit funny now when people follow. But no, it's just a bit of healthy banter there. Oh, he's there. I didn't think he would be back so soon.
Yeah,
This is
talking about getting funny with people. Tombo, I just need to confirm the bots aren't evolving. I've had to ban 2 that jumped into chat straight away. You followed this time. Can I just get a 1 or a 2 in the chat? A 1 if you're okay, a 2 if you're not okay. I just need to confirm something, okay?
And well, that sounded a little bit sinister there. But Tombo, thank you for joining us. I have full faith that you are out there and you have decided to join us and follow the channel. Kid Buyers Racing League Season 6 Round 1 GT3. And boy, if anyone could tell me why my dog's looking at me with a surprised look on her face, then that'd be really helpful. But Distinct Andrew, I'll put you out in a second, as Distinct Andrew across the line and beginning his lap here now. Disco Stu, Tombo's a good dude. Somebody vouching for Tombo. And big Tombo, as he's got someone who can verify his story, Chuck, and it looks like he's legitimate here. And that is a good start. Disco Stu there vouching for big Tombo. And Tombo, great to have you with us. Someone awesome across the line. I think these guys are starting their laps, aren't they, Wilco? You can see on the track map.
Yep. Yeah, so in terms of pole time, I don't actually know. I haven't been on to... I've been sort of having a nice chill out day and playing some games with another mate. And yeah, I'm not sure. We'd probably expect, maybe mid 44s, maybe low 40s. I'm sure PC is, a couple seconds quicker, so we're... Yeah, usually... What's your PC time? 1:42?
Yeah, I'm almost in the 42s on PC.
Okay, so yeah, so we're looking for, maybe mid 44 could be the go, but yeah, as I said, pretty much every one of these drivers can put in a really good lap. So I might start off top, go Hainsey.
Yep.
See how quickly.
And let's have a look at Hainsey. Where is Hainsey? There's Hainsey. And big Tombo has jumped in and said, thanks for the over-exaggerated welcome. To which I responded, you'll get used to us quick enough. But he loves it, so that's fantastic. And big Hainsey's coming there around the final corner. And here comes Hainsey. Matty Boy, how we're all doing. And Matty Boy jumping in for the Tier 1 sub, if you don't mind. As Hainsey across the line, what's it going to be? Oh, it's not quite...
44.8.
It's a 44.8.
It
is. And my goodness, who else have we got coming along next? Here, I think all the times are...
Noodles, second.
Noodles.
These two were first and second by under a 10th last night too, if you have KTM.
If I go across the line, and that was close in the GT2s, it's very close, less than a 10th in it here at the moment. Zest 1. And there we go, he jumps up the timing sheet. Side Org. Around the final corner, nice exit there, using as much of the track as what he can legally, not too much though. Across the line, what's it going to be? Here comes Binger King in a big yellow square Nissan, which is just how we love him. And JJ in the pits. I think we've got someone awesome. These guys might be on another lap, but let's go to the top of the timing sheets. Hainsey in P1, he's very quick indeed. Noodles having another crack though here, Chuck Norris. Less than a 10th. He needs 0.081 in his pocket here if he can get it. 5 minutes to go in this session. Thank you, Tombo. Thank you, Matty Boy, for subscribing at a Tier 1. If you're out there watching and haven't done so, please follow if you haven't already. But Noodles looks to be quick on this lap, Nigerian Prince.
Yeah, he looks to be the goods. He managed to come in clutch off my vague memory from last night. Managed to come in clutch and take out a win in the GT2s, so he's coming out in force here during qualifying for the GT3s as well. But he's on the money here, hitting all his marks, making sure to use all of the track that he can. He only needs a fraction of a 10th to get promoted to P1 provisionally, but he's still 4 and a bit minutes on that clock track.
Certainly is. Chicken or the egg. Chuck came first as Noodle is across the line, but Distinct Andrew going to the top with a 44.5. Get your predictions in. Can we get a poll? A big poll in the chat. And who will get pole? I'm going for Willstar, says Wilkinson, Jason Wilkinson. And I tell you what, this is going to be a very handy lap here as well. I think he's coming through. We'll keep an eye on that one. Ooh, a bit of a mistake there. But Hainsey demoted to second. Simon Bishop starting another lap. I thought I was your favourite, Trev. Well, if he gets the job done here, Chuck Norris, he could very well be.
Oh, look, it's anybody's guess at who's going to make a pole position at the moment, but I'll have a poll up in the chat very, very soon. But with just over 3.5 minutes on the clock, these times are going to start to tumble, I think. I think we might see a low 44 by the end of quality.
Yeah, I think so.
It's going to be low 44s. We'll keep an eye on Simon here. We'll go shout out if you can see any guys coming to complete their laps. I think we might have sorry, not Kilroy, someone else is there. Hainsey, maybe. Is Hainsey finished?
Yeah, Hainsey, and then you got Norm and Matt sort of right next to each other. Matt might be... Hey, move out of the way, brother. Let me slide through. You're holding Matt up at the moment, but Norm obviously he's down in P17, so he's going to want to get a good lap. It looks like Matt sort of just backed off a little bit to set himself a nice lap as Hainsey goes, yeah, 200s down. But here comes all the boys back through the line again. Let's see who can jump up this time.
Matt across the line, 5/10 down. Hainsey improving, still 0-0-2-0 off of this time. Willstar, many people believe this is our pole position man, and this would be perfect timing for him.
I didn't realise he's in the Aston. I thought he would have been in the Aston, so he might not be gelled with that car just yet. He might not have... does. But... Ooh, side dog pops to the top.
And Simon pops to the top. And you can see there...
I've just changed my answer to Simon, thank you.
And wow, that's possible. I didn't know that in the poll. We're having a fantastic time of things here tonight. Qualifying GT3 style here this evening. And great to have everybody's company wherever you're watching right around the world. Side org now, just look at that, less than a tenth between the top three as Seidel comes towards the boot here. Hainsey as well on a quick lap. I think Hainsey might be leading the charge. All he needs is 1/10 of a second, Chuck, but where can he find it around this circuit here tonight?
Yeah, it's a very tough one to try and find the time around here, you know, especially when a majority of your time can be lost, depending on how committed you are into T1, as well as the bus stop. I feel like are the two crucial areas on, you know, the more you commit, the more you can get out of it, but at the same time, the more you can also lose out of it. But yeah, the drivers who can also keep it smooth through sector 2 and 3 can also find themselves at the top of the timing charts as Hainsey does the 44.3.
Hainsey's found himself at the top of the timing charts. Can any of these boys improve? In fact, improve enough to beat a 44.302. Figo across the line. Willstar's there as well. What's it going to be for Willstar? He comes across the line. Less than a minute to go in this session. Who else have we got? Zest, Mint, Matt. Let's pick a driver at random who totally at random. And I've picked Matt. Nothing random about that. Noodles is flying as well, isn't he? But Matt, not really that happy with that position there for Matt. Hopefully he can get better than that. Oh, he's using every bit of road available to him. He is flying, and so is somebody there. Is that Noodles flying off the track? No, I beg your pardon. Somebody looked to have a moment there, but who will take pole? Let's have a look. Andrew. 3 votes for Andrew. And let's have a look here. Mint Matty's just behind Noodles. I don't think these boys are going to affect each other too much though, Chuck, as they come through the toe end of this part of the circuit. That is qualifying done and dusted. Distinct Andrew. I don't think he's going to take pole, is he? He's back in the pit lane. Let's have a look at Noodles, who will lead Mint Matt across the line here. In a few corners, that is. As they climb the hill now, only a couple of corners to go. Noodles, Matt there taking a little bit of a wider line through that part of the lap, but it's going to be very, very close. Still a few other guys on a hot lap as well. Let's have a look here. Noodles, currently P5. Can he improve across the line? It's now or never. The checkered flag is out, which is actually a yellow flag, and Noodles goes up to P3 there. Mitmat cannot improve. Wowee, so that's interesting indeed. Who else is going to be coming through here?
Zest, and then it'll be someone awesome and
And Zest across the line, can't improve.
championship winner from. I'll try and speak English. Championship winner from last year. He ended up in. Well, he got up to P7 by the end there. So, yes, looking at Simon, Haynes, Noodles, Andrew, Figo, Will, someone awesome, Zest, Matt, and Craig in the Pro-Am class getting in that top 10. So 1 second between the top 10 cars, which is it's bigger than I thought it was going to be, but the race is going to be nice and tight.
How good is that? There are your final qualifying results from this split qualifying session. Round 1 of the GT3s in Season 6 of KRL. Literally 1 second between the top 10. Craigo there getting pole in his class along with Riggsy, Norman, Binger. They'll be disappointed with that. Then Nick. And we go right down the order. What a turnout here tonight. Were we expecting these sort of numbers, Jason? Right down to yourself down there. But look at that. 34 people with us here this evening. It's going to make for a great race.
Yeah, we actually have 38 signed up with 6 reserves. So, might have gone away for making an extra long weekend. So yeah, it's missing a few tonight, but it's good because we had those reserve guys jump in. So those reserves are, surprise, Will is one of those reserves. Zess is in. We've got Das is a reserve. There's a couple of them that are in here that are reserves. Jackie Prez is one. So there's a few boys that sort of missed the sign-ups. So they're down as reserve, but I'm sure there'll always be spots for them. So, yeah, looks like it's going to be a dry race at the moment. 30 minutes of overcast, and it should be pretty crazy.
Well, we cannot wait. Looking forward to this one. A couple of minutes till we get underway. Look at that grid. Side Organ Hainsey next to each other on row 1. Noodles, Andrew, Figo, Will Star, big names. Matt there and Craig amongst them. Riggsy, Norm, Binger as well. That's going to be a good battle there. Binger in his famous square yellow Nissan. Nick, Dask, Mac, Main and Rainer Fire there. Stewie Wilson, Kilroy. As we head down the order then, Mark Ledwich down there, Sideways Polka, Ernie Dingo, F1 Sniper, the Stone Towel, Shawnee Fuller, the British driver here. And then Spawn Racing, Nismo the boss, Jackie Prez, new name, quite like that one. JJ Norms, Chipperton, we saw him last night, Exosist, and Saint Sim and Wilco. Daniel is here, and Go Bowling, enable NASCAR track limits, says Daniel Sun. So great to have your company with us. We might have a quick word from our sponsors, which of course we don't have any, but we will check out an intro from the great man Andrelli and be back for the formation lap very shortly. This is a great stream, guys, says Big Tombo. Very well commentated. Well, he knows how to make friends around here. We're going to get along just fine, Tombo. Thank you for that. We're going to a quick word and we'll be back very shortly for the formation lap. Do not go anywhere unless, of course, it's an emergency situation. We'll be right back. Charismatic French Bulldog Hank will be waiting for him at home and he'll be saying, woof, woof, woof.
Very lucky he didn't do the first hour because he could have quite literally been a fish out of water, but thankfully for Nemo, he knows how to navigate these
But we've got 6 hours, that's right, 6 hours to go here. And we're only on lap
Not
1.
too far away from Immortal Nick, but Immortal Nick right behind Vert Wheeler here. But Vert Wheeler still got to do that mandatory pit stop.
You can see there Vanessa enjoying this. She goes, "Oh, you're so brilliant and funny." And she absolutely loving that stream over there at 7 a.m. And this guy down there side by side with Random, and then it's Hoot Corp. Look at this down Kemmel Straight, Prince, as the team radio beeps are coming in, flying under the radar. Welcome to you, and it's so close. Is there going to be contact? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Watkins Glen International as we go flying in from the International Space Station. Big shout out to Andrelli. We're in the United States of America. We're here at the Glen, located just southwest of the village of Watkins Glen in the beautiful state of New York. And we're looking at this circuit here tonight. This is where we're at, the 90-degree turn 1. Then turns 2, 3, and 4. The S's followed by the bus stop. So easy to get it wrong there. Then the carousel and the laces, the toe, entering the boot part of the lap, the heel, and then turns 9 and 10. Easy to spoil your lap here before turn 11. And then the start-finish straight. Huge shout out to Andrelli for that one. Fantastic. Spoiled for choice here, that's for sure, when it comes to magnificent track graphics and thumbnails and all the rest of it. There's a lot of stuff involved behind the scenes in getting this stream up and running, and Andrelli is a big part of that. So shout out to Andrelli. We are on the formation lap, and we're almost ready to go here. Wherever you look, there's going to be plenty happening on this opening few laps. And Voodoo, the Nigerian Prince, subscribing at a tier 1. He's been subscribed now for 15 months. That's 1.5 babies, if you count in terms of the
weird-looking baby
cycle there. But be good. I wonder how that'd go calling a race. But if
well, it might be just wouldn't that just be Tasmanian then?
America counts in football field and Trev counts in babies.
as Wilco will be at the back of the grid, keeping an eye on things here this evening. He's on the controller, so he's not going to be racing tonight. Like his beautiful race last night, didn't he? He started from the back and stormed his way through the field. Thank you, says Andrelli. Hope you had a good day. Anzac Day, of course, lest we forget, had our little special tribute there at the beginning of the race. And Chuck, the drivers getting into their lanes here at the moment. We're almost ready to go racing once again.
Yeah, so race control calling everybody to go double file. You can, oh dude, I still can't get over being back in the big chungus. It's good to see, but yeah, these drivers all getting ready to go green for this one.
Boys, this is a clean start. Clean start,
in
please.
The Ferrari. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
And predicting Willstar for the win, says Team Little Bear. VIP Team Little Bear, if you don't mind. 30 plus drivers, round 1 of a new season here. It's GT3s, of course, GT2s last night, and we're going back to back with 2 nights of a new KRL season, as is tradition, of course, for KRL. We're almost ready to go. We hope you're ready at home. It'll be green. Give it all you got, says Race Control. Side organ Hainsey. He makes good starts. He did that last night, but Noodles is there lurking as well down into turn 1. They all stream through. Hainsey on the outside, getting the job done, and he's got his nose in front of Sideorg. Noodles slotting into P3. Distinct Andrew as well. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And there's a yellow flag at the back. We'll have to check on that one. Wilco's across that. We'll get to you in a moment, Wilco. But Hainsey leads as they run down the back straight for the first time in this 60-minute race. Hainsey leads, of course. The leaderboard is doing its thing. And what's happening there? The leaderboard sorting itself out. I can't move anything. But it's interesting here. Hainsey still leads, though. Sideorg looking to cover off Noodles. Hectic start here on the opening lap, Chuck Norris.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's actually gotten through really, really cleanly. It's a nice bit of a snaky train going on at the moment, which you don't typically end up having the privilege of seeing at Watkins Glen, especially with the bus stop catching people out over lap one. But looking like it's a good start. Hainsey managing to get off to a good run here. Rain of Fire doing well at the back is clawing his way back up to the train there, but yeah, battles all the way through.
So sit back. We've got 58 and a half minutes of action ahead of you for round one of this new season. Look how close they are. Incredible stuff here heading towards turns 10 and 11 to complete the opening lap. Hainsey leads. Side in second. Simon Bishop and Distinct Andrew in the BMW doing very nicely as well. And it seems that Noodles has dropped a place there, Chuck Norris. Andrew has jumped him up to P3.
Yeah, Andrew doing a bit of a jump there, which is going to be good for the BMW. I feel like he can make the most out of it, especially you can run a little bit lower of a wing with that car and get away with things. But Noodles, though, is on the back of him, and it's going to be a battle that hopefully continues at the front here for the next hour.
Still reasonably clean. I think Rain of Fire or somebody else might have been involved in something at the back, but look at them down the back straight. As we head to our man at the back of the field. Wilco, was that Rain of Fire involved in something there at the back, maybe with Dask, I think, in the early part of the race?
Oh, I've got some really bad lag at the moment. I don't know what's going on. Really laggy on my end. Okay, all good. Yeah, it looks like it was Dask might have accidentally tagged Rain of Fire. He did redress, that's why they're back at the back, but other than that, it looks fairly clean. I don't want to say it, but touch wood, looks like a fairly clean start so far, so hopefully the boys can keep going, we can have some good battles.
As you can see there, Wilco joining us, not racing tonight, he's at the back of the field, keeping an eye on things, and he'll have to touch plenty of wood, I reckon, because there's plenty of cars out there, and there's definitely something going to happen eventually. Go Hainsey and Andrelli saying, great to see so many cars on console. The turnout is absolutely magnificent, not only because of the fact they get to listen to the great Chuck Norris and myself, but Voodoo has gifted a tier 1 sub, speak of the devil, to the Kit Buyers' community, and they've gifted a total of 32 in the channel. Boy, it's getting competitive there at the top, 32 and 32. You know what you've got to do, Wilco. But let me tell you, the subs goal has been updated. It's not about the subs, it's about the racing here tonight. Lap 2 of this one, Hainsey, Simon Bishop, Distinct Andrew. My goodness, there's plenty of talent out there, Chuck, and I could live to be 150 and still not be as quick as some of these front-running guys. It is a pleasure to watch them.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Trev. And, all these drivers are driving on the absolute limit here to try and maintain being at the front. It's not an easy task, especially when, you've got to compete with the bus stop lap after lap. And if you conserve a little bit too much going in one lap, you might lose out a bit of time that you desperately need to keep yourself in front. But this battle at the front, Trev, I'm loving it.
And hard to take your eyes off this battle at the front there. Tombo, the non-bot Tombo, as we've found out, says, go Hainsey, have raced quite a few of these guys on GT7. Oh no, GT7. I was on GT7 today and raced for 3 hours and got a new bit of suspension or something for my troubles. That was fantastic, which I couldn't even add to my car anyway, but still a fantastic game. Visually, it's very stunning, like yourself, Chuck Norris. But as Andrelli saying, 60 drivers over 2 nights for KRL. Boy, oh boy, KRL is back with a bang, Chuck Norris, and we know that Jason, who runs things, he's very much the boss of this series. We're just purely here for the eye candy, really, when it comes down to it. But fantastic turnout over the 2 nights of KRL.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic turnout. It's a new season. A lot of drivers have been waiting for this to happen, and it's good to be back. Wilco's put a lot of work in behind the scenes, as well as Andrelli with our graphics and all that kind of good stuff. So Yeah, a lot of work goes into it, but we're finally back, and the drivers are showing their appreciation by showing up in the masses.
54 minutes to go of this 1 hour race. And Knox Parker says, whoa, thanks for the gift. Absolute top tier drivers here. Should be a cracking racing. Most welcome, it says Chuck Norris. Distinct Twitchy, the fact Hainsey doesn't contend with top players on GT7, but jumps on here and is leading comfortably over Andrew and Sidorg and others is monumental for him. Very proud of him. Great to see you there, Twitchy. And no, GT7 is no good, says Big Tombo. And let's be realistic, it's not that bad, surely. It's got a few options there with different things. And who knows, you might get a new engine cover or something if you jump on there and do your 600 kilometres a day. But Hainsey leads this race. I'm not kidding either. I got a 6-star ticket and got absolutely nothing. But if Kasuro Yakajumi's listening, please do something about the reward system. But 53 minutes to go. Don't know whether it's actually his name or not, but Sidorg now putting pressure on him as Distinct Twitchy. In ways, I do agree, this league doesn't look much more fun now with all these drivers in it. I think what he's trying to say is it is much more fun with these drivers in it. Yes, there we go. F7 for spell check, but let me tell you, no signs of this letting up. 52.5 minutes to go, and we might go from the front to the back. We're going to see where it's at. And just shake what your mama gave you there as Stone Towel at the back. And just as Stone Towel there in the BWT livery. Some of these guys at the back are up to no good here at the moment. Ernie Drongo into some trouble here, Wilco. What is going on at drive-through for Ernie Dingo?
Yeah, so I think he either got spun or spun himself, and in the process, Stone Towel, probably shouldn't be saying that name out loud, but the Stone Towel did make contact with him. So I'm not sure if there was contact between them that caused the crash, or if Ernie's off. Someone off.
Ooh, Ernie.
Up there, 133 maybe? No, 123. I don't know. Someone's off there. But yeah, then they both on their pit stop, and Ernie's going to drive through for, I guess, the speeding the pit lane.
Yes, names to be withheld. But Stone Towel, that was fantastic. But 51.5 minutes, and the chat is absolutely going off, and someone else Norm is going off. Wow, that is a big moment in this race. Norm is off, but he's back going again now, but he's going to lose a lot of time here. This is going to be dreadful.
His car's broken. I can see his steering wheel.
Car's broken. Can he get that repaired, Wilco? What's going to be the situation for him?
He will, but yeah, that car's not looking that good. I'm not sure what happened. I saw him going slow, riding the wall, so I'm guessing he sort of maybe, hopefully he hasn't been taken out. He sort of just made a little mistake. That car is a rat shot. So he will probably go a lap down with the damage here.
As Tombo, no offence Twitchy, still full credit to you and the top guys on GT7. Is there prizes for this or just bragging rights?
Well, it depends how much you subscribe and donate whoever asked that.
Well,
who was that asked?
Twitchy, Distinct Twitchy says, is there prizes?
No, there's no prizes for the Enduro stuff, yes.
Yes, we do have gift vouchers, and we do our little spinning wheel, don't we, during the endurance races, the Australian New Zealand Endurance Series. And Tombo, for sure, it's like anything, talent gives you an advantage, but time also helps. You don't really find your talent, do you, in life, Wilco, until you put the time in, do you? It's one before the other, so you don't really know what you're not good at until you've at least tried it. But less than 50 minutes to go. And I've got to tell you, I can't drive like these guys, so that's why I try and talk about it. Hainsey running a little bit wide. And the prizes, says Knox Parker, who's just been gifted a sub, he says the prizes are the friends you make along the way. And
God, you're a good bloke, Knox.
God, he's a nice chap, isn't he? And he's back again. Tell a friend, the Nigerian prince is back, and cast my mind back to that F1 2015 game that nobody seems to like talking about anymore, Jason. And remember that Austrian qualifying session where it went from wet to dry, and I think you might have snatched pole position. Do you remember that one? I think I might have been in that race.
Yeah, that was when I was poo-poo at games too. So yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. That was a good. I do remember that. That was a good day.
I think it was a sort of wet,
F1.
dry session, wasn't it?
Yeah, actually no, I did have fun. F1 Cup last year, but after 3 rounds, I think you went walkabout, Trev. It wasn't me. But no, I just want to say, yeah, good to see Knox jumping on tonight and having a little watch. Of course, that guy is a very good driver, of course himself, and we did have that awesome battle at the Bathurst 3 hour over a year ago now. So nice 22 laps, me and him nose to tail, and it's always good to see those guys sort of pop up and say hi.
And look at Simon popping up and saying, hello there, Hainsey. Let's get amongst it. Hainsey seems to be eating his tyres compared to Simon. We saw this last night. And Mrs. B's checking in. VIP treatment for Mrs. B. She says, when you were poo-poo at games, have you and Taylor been talking? Because that's exactly what Taylor says about her daddy. She hears him go into the office, into the commentary box.
PG is before 9 p.m. KM.
And wow, so yeah, have you been talking to Tay Tay? She says, Daddy, you're poo-poo at games and you're not very good. And I say, well, we can make some money off this someday eventually if we're good enough. But, is Simon good enough? And Kaima, yeah. Mrs. B says, oh, ha-ha, very, very funny. Is there a message you'd like to... actually, we might get back to Mrs. B in a moment because Sidorg is very close, not quite close enough. And then Andrew's 1.2 seconds further back. Just kidding. Hello, Mrs. B. Always gets priority there with the VIP treatment. And that little... what's that other little symbol there? Cheer 1, which means that they've cheered somewhere along the line, Chuck. But look at how close it is.
So I just want to quickly jump in. So if you have the camber not right for the McLaren, you do eat your tyres up. But one thing that is definitely needed to be noted is Simon is probably one of the best guys on tyres. He's the Sergio Perez of ACC. He's very, very good at tyres. He knows how to sort of make them last. The only thing is, in the Ferrari, it normally does chew up his tyres a little bit, which you would remember from that Silverstone race. Again, you have a little error in the setup, and the tyres are gone pretty quickly. So we could be seeing here, Ainsley's just struggling, or Simon's has said, you know what? Stuff in this P2 stuff, I want to be back in the lead like I was last time.
He certainly does. Boy, what a race that was last night. Great battle all around. 46.5 minutes. There's a yellow flag. Somebody's off at whatever corner. Spawn Racing is off. He was leading in his class, Chuck, but he is now back into the pits. We'll get back. We'll go through the order there. Simon still second. Distinct Andrew third. Noodles in fourth. Max Camber for quali, but have to dial it down for the race pace, says Distinct Andrew. Boy, very, very handy driver you are, Distinct Andrew. Distinct Twitch. They're both good drivers, aren't they? As I'm getting mixed. Oh, and Zest getting too close to a concrete wall there at the end of that final term. And he's Andrew as well there, says Distinct Twitchy. But Zest coming face to face with a concrete wall, and there's not many drivers who do that and come off without much damage there, Jason. That is dreadful for Zest, but he's still continuing.
Yeah, that outside wall is very easy to give a little rub, but looks like he should be okay. There might only be a couple of damage, which shouldn't be hurting him too much, but I just want to keep an eye on this battle at the front because Andrew's now closing in. That's near throwaway battle.
Well, I'm just picking a random driver to... Oh my goodness! Someone awesome has hit the barrier. Wow, that is just... and look at the damage on that car too, and he's having another go. And you can see there, massive damage. I was just looking at Matt there, but someone awesome, Chuck, has had a big moment.
Yeah, that's a massive moment. He managed to survive dying through
go back to the lead,
and died afterwards. But yeah, that's a lot of damage. He's going to need to come in and get that sorted. But the front battle here, Sidorg, Hainsey, this is heating up now. Andrew not too far behind.
Pressure cooker.
Very entertaining. So I'm not sure why I said that so slowly. I think I was typing it in the chat as I was talking
Yeah,
about
no,
it.
maybe it was
But
me.
they're a little bit slow here in Benalla. But let me tell you, this battle, there's nothing slowing down here. And Andrew just waiting to pounce. And 2-minute Noodles, he's also, he's a funny one, that Noodles, let me tell you. He's always creeping around the back there with 44 minutes to go. But Hainsey and Sidorg, they're just... Is that a bit of lag there? I thought I saw Hainsey jumping around, but
Yeah.
Hainsey's also got the quickest lap as well, Wilco, as this battle continues.
Yeah, I think he had the quickest lap quite early on, as Simon just did his best lap, which is 9. But yeah, these two, if they're going to side-by-side action, you're going to see Andrew all over him too. So quite interesting. That's 2 races in a row, last night and tonight, that the front two were having a ding-dong battle.
And you can see there it was Noodles, wasn't it? And Simon...
Noodles and Simon, yeah,
yep,
last night.
Last
correct.
night in the GT2s. It is a 60-minute race, of course, which we're roughly 17 minutes into. 1 mandatory pit stop. Pit stop 25 seconds, the minimum 25 seconds. 5 seconds for tyres and no safety car, because that causes a few issues. But this is the battle that we need to keep an eye on there. Distinct Andrew just hanging around behind the lead duo here. Hainsey, Simon Bishop there. And passing opportunities,
Simon's
Jason.
so much quicker. Yeah, well, that's what I'm just looking at here. So Simon's like so much better under brakes. And you can start to see the Hainsey's having little sides coming out of the... Crooked his size a little bit, or his pressures could be a little bit wrong. Not sure how much practice he's been doing. He was on time. Same as most of these boys, but yeah, Simon's so much better under brakes and mid-corner, and Hainsey he's getting the drive off the corner, which is helping him, but as I said, he's starting to wag that tail a little bit, so Simon will be beautiful. Keep one little slide out of the corner, and Simon will be...
And 24 people watching the stream on a Thursday night. Hope you've had a great Anzac Day wherever you're watching across Australia and New Zealand. Simon needs a distinct... Twitchy making a good point here. Simon needs to use his tyre advantage and pass him ASAP so he can run away. And the prediction is up. Chuck Norris has chucked it in. Who will pit first? Sidorg or Hainsey? Gamble. Oh, and Hainsey's had a moment here, Jason Wilkinson, at the top of the heel of the toe. And he's gone off at the boot section. And now Andrew's going to be all over him like spots on a grandma here.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. He's lagging a bit here. Oh, and Andrew's up over him now. Yeah, there's a bit of lag going on with Hainsey at the moment. But Andrew is through, so now it's going to see Andrew.
And get your predictions in. Not sure I can predict anything at the moment. Some sort of conflict of interest or something. Can't seem to do anything with that. But big hello to everyone out there watching. F moment for Hainsey. After that moment, I'd say Hainsey for sure. Aussie Racer 92. He will pit first. Rest in peace to your 1,000 coins. Your famous kid coins. Oh, and a little bit of kicking up some grass there. We're going to see Hainsey into the pits. Surely he's going to come into the pits here.
Maybe not just yet. I think it's a bit too early at the moment. Probably want to try and get to that 35-minute mark at least. But let's see what Simon's pace can be now. He's in fresh air. Best lap while he was passing. So while Andrew and Simon's... So let's check out the other battles. So we've got Riggs and Nick battling for Pro-Am honours. Only half a second between them two. Then you got my teammates from the Enduros, Mac and Binger at the moment, have second up, 2 seconds between them. So Mac's obviously put his hand on to be driver 2 for the next race. Binger's going to go down to driver 4. But in terms of the AM guys, Nath is having a good race. He's up into that'll be P21 now, and he's leading the AM class. So yeah, with Spawn having that issue and returning to pits, of course, as I said last night, he did win in the GT2s. He split his head open earlier in the week, so he has bad delayed concussion, so I'm sure he's not feeling 100% in tonight. But yes, the Pro-Am guys having a good battle with Exorcist right on top of Nismo for the AM class.
And look at this, Exo there And Nismo, Chipperton a little bit, well, a long way further back, I should say. But what about this? Saint Sim not too far ahead of them there, but Nismo, the boss of Hooncorp Esports, big shout out to them. Exorcist just trying to put his nose down the inside in that Lexus, but Nismo holding firm there after the back straight. Let me have a look at this. Nismo leading his class. Didn't have a great run last night, got himself into some mischief, Chuck, and wouldn't be happy with his race last night, but he's back here and he's having a great run here so far.
Yeah, I've just noticed Riggsy and Nick must have come together, because they're now P13 and 16. So we might have missed that. Looks like Riggsy's bonnet is flapping from the onboard camera. So there might have been a little bit of contact between them, but that puts my mate Mac up in P9 overall and Pro-Am honours at the moment. And that's not bad, because he literally said half an hour before the race, I'll jump on tonight, do a race if there's room. I said, jump on, mate. And he goes, what car? And I said, I don't know. And he comes back about 15 minutes. He's done very little practice, and he's jumped in going quite well at the moment.
He is doing very nicely indeed. Noodles and Hainsey are very close. There's a yellow flag out for somebody there. I think that might be the pit stop. Sorry, I beg your pardon. But Mac, top bloke is Mac Miller, and lots of them are top blokes, that's for sure. But I think we have raced on Assetto Corsa. We did a bit of a social night, didn't we, once, Wilco? And Mac managed to get an opportunity to chat with him. But he's definitely someone that you'd want to have a beer with. And Noodles and Hainsey very close here.
Yeah, Noodles, Hainsey has a bit of damage past. I'm not sure when he got past from Simon he said he had a moment. I was watching someone else, but I don't know if he hit the wall then or he's hit the wall since then, because definitely damage shot the side of the...
And the prediction is closed. Thank you, Chuck Norris. 32% on Sideorg, 68% on Hainsey, and no surprise given that we sort of put that poll into the chat. And of course, Hainsey had an incident there, but Simon, once he is let loose at the front of the field, Jason Wilkinson, he's a hard man to stop, isn't he? He's got no issues now. He's in clear air. We can get a true feel for his pace here tonight. He's a hard man to stop once you let him go.
Yeah, Nathan's in the pit, so I might have missed that. I wonder if he crashed or he's actually doing his pit stop. I have a feeling he might have had a crash.
Riggsy in and out, but Nismo in the pits as well. There's some damage to the side of that car as well. So has he been involved in some sort of incident? And he will be streaming there. Let's take a look at Chipperton down the field. Some damage to the front of that car, just in front of Ernie Dingo there, well down the field. Darsk into the pits. I think he might be done for the day, but Ernie Drongo as well, right behind Chipperton. And Nismo into the pits, and he's just coming back out onto the circuit, so maybe some damage there for that car.
I've just asked to stream, so I'll get back to you.
And Wilco right across things at the moment, approaching half race distance, still plenty to play for. And Simon Bishop, Chuck Norris, if you've got us there, he's not exactly getting away from Andrew here, is he? 1.7 is the gap, but that is nothing. That is just 1.7 seconds, which is nothing with 35 minutes to go here.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those ones where he could have chewed up his tyres quite a bit trying to keep up with Hainsey. Naturally, the McLaren is a little bit quicker around Watkins Glen, but I think the BMW is a bit quicker over a stint. I believe it does a bit better on tyres around here. So the gap we might naturally see come down as Sideorg starts to struggle a little bit with tyres, but you know, we're kind of within that pit window time that I like, which is that 10-minute pit window. 5 minutes above 30 minutes and 5 minutes below in terms of distance to go. So we might start seeing some drivers come in as we do see Mitmat jumping in the pit lane.
Tell you what, Mitmat is into the pits. Oh, Hainsey's had a big moment, and I can't stress how big that moment is at the inner loop here, because he's almost lost it again. Noodles has gone off into the distance. My goodness me. he'll need to head down to the underwear store after that, because to lose it at that speed at the inner loop, that is a big save there for Hainsey, and not something you ought to be doing too often, Chuck Norris.
Yeah, definitely not. So the damage he seems to be struggling with, you know, the balance of the car doesn't want to stay down during the bus stop, which is unstabilizing the cars. We see a yellow flag and some slow cars on the exit of bus stop as well. Probably having similar situations. Car maybe got a little bit of damage and it's just getting a little bit unsettled with the bus stop, or the car is just getting lighter on fuel and, you know, it's just becoming a bit more of a protest.
And it's funny you talked about the sweet spot, Chuck Norris. It's like when you heat up party pies and you have a crack at them too soon and they're too hot, or you don't heat them up enough and they're too cold. But don't you love when you rock up to the party and I was in the middle of something there, but anyway, that's okay. As Simon, no, that's okay. I know you got a thing with followers and stuff. And as there we go, Simon there. That's okay. It's healthy competition. What I'm trying to say is, has he picked the right moment with his party pie temperature to come into the pits?
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm happy that he's picked this time to come into pit lane, because I just won myself 3,100 channel points. So
wow, funny that, isn't it? As there we go, so Chuck Norris has won himself some coins, 3,000 coins to you, and that could very well see me in a hot dog suit very shortly, as we are approaching half race distance. And Sidorg into the pits. Where's he going to come out? I think he might be okay here, Wilco. He might come out just... we've got a couple of guys going through now. He might come back out into clear air, which is going to help him here. He's down. His invisible pit crew have finished working on him. I think he might be okay here. He's coming out of the pit lane now, and Exorcist is behind him there. I think he might have him covered, but he's got someone further ahead of him. No, my kid coins.
Sniper.
And Sniper.
Sniper's off. Where is he? 51.
Sniper there, and it's one of those rainbow paddle pop liveries. Very interesting colour scheme there. Yoink, says Voodoo, and it seems that the Nigerian has swooped. Oh, Sniper spinning, almost taking out Rain of Fire, JJ, and Sideways there, but he's managed to keep it together and not take anyone else out with him, Chuckers. Nismo has a stop-go penalty. The man, the boss of Hooncorp, has been a naughty boy.
Yeah, everyone's Sniper with a really good save there. It's very hard to kind of keep bringing the car back there, especially with it being downhill and a little bit off camber as you're going around a left-hander, but Sniper did very well to kind of keep it inwards towards the barrier. But yeah, stop go 30, naughty boy, going into the pit lane. You know, it's an easy one to get caught out by, you know, the pit board. You kind of see it at the last second as you go through the barrier. So Nismo Nate, let's see if he comes into the pit lane and doesn't end up on the bad side of the streets.
As we'll get back to the front, take a look at our race leader. Shizer says, Tombo, I just bet the house on Hainsey. And boy, there's no more of those kid coins left because the Nigerian prince has swooped in and taken all of your money. And there's something...
Here comes Noodles. Noodles is coming out of pit lane. He hasn't... Simon is just coming through turn one.
And this is going to be
so
close.
I reckon Noodles didn't take tyres. He's risked it, taking that extra 5 seconds, or, you know, not taking the extra 5 seconds to change tyres. And he's come out here. So that'll be one thing. Noodles over the next few laps, and by the last sort of 10 minutes, let's see what his pace is like. Because at the moment,
well, I can only assume I'm filling in the gaps for Jason, of course, who's cutting in and out.
Oh no.
He's doing that.
Oh, Jesus. Did you see Simon then?
And so, where is Simon?
That Lexus spun in front of him and he missed it by nothing.
Missed it by that
much.
He
got through, but yeah. But
wow,
yeah, hope you can fill in the blanks.
Sorry, all I heard was that you saw Jesus, and I thought he's hallelujah. And how good is that? And he's found the Lord, our man Jason Wilkinson. But Sidorg will thank the Lord.
Do you need me to fill in what I was actually just saying there?
If you would please, if we get a translation.
Okay. So, Noodles hadn't... I don't think he's taken tyres. So he's got the net lead at the moment. So he didn't take tyres. And he's a couple of seconds up the road now from Simon. So we'll have to see what his pace is towards the end of the race. But at the moment, Noodles is the leader.
So
Let's see
Noodles,
where Andrew is. Andrew's just leaving. Oh, we watch Andrew now too. He's going to come close with Noodles.
Andrew is coming out of the pit lane. It's going to be very close with 2-minute Noodles. I think he might have his nose in front.
I reckon that's another one. So Noodles and Andrew haven't taken tyres. Simon has. What happened over the next 28 minutes? We could have a good finish here.
So 1 mandatory pit stop for fuel, but it's an extra 5 seconds, isn't it, Chuck Norris, if you want to take tyres as well during your stop?
Yeah, so it's one of those gambles you need to kind of decide on what you can do. You know, sometimes it's worth taking that extra 5 seconds, and sometimes it's not worth it. So some of these drivers taking that gamble. But Maxi coming in with 5 gifted Tier 1 subs.
Hey!
Holy mackerel, Maxi Naked Blade. It'll be the Maxi Naked Blade pre-race show from now on, because he's just jumped in with 5 Tier 1 subs to Sidorg, Dask, Danielson, Smitty and Burra. My goodness me, he's just done, he's come in with the business, and my goodness, he started the hype train, Chuck Norris. Maxi Naked Blade, can we get that updated to 30? Absolutely fantastic. We'll get that goal updated to 30 because Maxi Naked Blade has swept in and just throwing out Tier 1 subs, throwing them out. And how good is that from Maxi Naked Blade? And we've got 24 people watching as well. Oh, it's all happening here. But Noodles and Andrew on the track. Can we please get back to the track? Kid buyers. Breathe in.
Well, Haynes is just leaving pit lane 2. So Haynes on the front of Simon.
I'm getting chest pains here, but thank you, Maxi, for that. But let me tell you, where is he? Who are we talking about again, please, Wilco? Who was leaving the pits?
Hainesy. So it's literally the front 3 overall, which is going to be Andrew, Noodles, and Hainesy. They haven't taken tyres. Simon has taken tyres. Let's see, I reckon Simon's still on for just have half distance on his tyres compared to everyone else by the end. So it should be interesting.
Yep, I think
Simon's gonna have to do some passing.
And Daniel has cheered with 37 cheers. That is incredible.
Yes.
Wow, and where do we look here? Noodles as well, right behind Distinct Edge. I think he was there anyway, but this is fantastic. Danielson coming in with 37 bits. And that is in. Oh, and is that Simon there going through on Hainesy as well, Wilco?
Hainesy had the indicator on to sort of let him go because it looks like he still has damage. But here we go. Let's see. I'll keep an eye on Simon's pace, and you guys can keep watching the battle and corner, and I'll just sort of keep the eye on the pace. And we've got car 3s around just. He's all good.
Car 3, Jackie Prez will stick with the front battle. Oh, and Jackie is off their yellow flag. I think he's out of the way. He or she is out of the way, though. I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue.
Noodles is all over Andrew here.
And Noodles is all over Andrew here at the moment. Sniper ahead of them. Simon not too far behind them. This is still close, and they've all come in and made their stops over half race distance. 23 people watching. How good
Simon was 4 tenths quicker than that lap. 4 tenths.
And well, we said it last night, but Simon is about to turn up to a party that he doesn't have an invitation to, Chuck, and I don't think he cares.
It's going to be an interesting fight here. We've got just under 25 minutes on the clock now, and everything to play for. So with that, I've thrown a prediction up in the chat. You can vote with your channel points again. Who's going to win, Andrew, Sidorg, or Noodles, or maybe somebody else comes through the field. and ends up winning this one. But this is going to be a great fight in the closing 25 minutes.
And Maxi Naked Blade, with thanks to Maxi Naked Blade, our new sponsor, teammate, is P2. Stop the race, he says. And you're a legend, Maxi. And Machin says, I'll win my coins back. I'm a good gambler. And Kenny Rogers, the gambler there. 200 on Side Org, 200 big ones. And P1 says Maxi Naked Blade. The Maxi Naked Blade Kit Buyers Racing League, with thanks to Maxi Naked Blade. It's all going off here. Chase those losses. Think of what you could be gambling with. Gamble responsibly. But as Mark Ledwidge into the pits, the only driver yet to make a stop, yet to make his mandatory pit stop. Don't stop, never give up, hold your head high and reach the top, says Aussie Racer. And what are we getting ready for, Wilco?
Andrew, 44.7. Noodles, 45.1. Simon, 44.6. Andrew's still got a bit of pace in it. Noodles is a little bit slower that lap. But, yeah, Mark's in now the actually is P1, P2 and P3, 2 seconds apart, 23 minutes to go.
And let's just share these hype. The hype train has just landed at the station. And you can see there, toot toot. Remember, kids, chase your losses because they can't run forever. Wow, that's a great bit of advice as Chippendale off to the side. Chipperton letting the big boys through there. Noodles a second behind him. Side Org as well. Hainsey still with the fastest lap, but dropping back by 3.2 seconds. Wellstar, a lot of people had their coins on him, Chuck, but not really making an impact here tonight so far. Yeah, Trev, I think he's still got a long way to go. Sorry, Wilco, go ahead.
Maxi has, I said, you can pick the car and the camera. Go on board. So he wants Simon. So let's hit drive on Simon. Let's get a nice onboard camera here. Let's get his telemetry up. Let's have a look how he moves on here, because I need him to get the win, so I'll get my 200 coins, please. Thank you.
As we're going through... Oh, we had him there, didn't we? And let's have a look at this man, and we'll get all that other stuff out of the way for you. So we can
watch the throttle. This is a little coaching masterclass here. Just watch the throttle and brake inputs here. Let's just see how smooth this man is and why he's quick. 44.5 that lap compared to 44.7 and Noodles. So let's sort of see. Maybe we'll just have one little quiet lap here. Let's no talking. Let's go listen out of this at how the master does his work.
Great work through this part of the circuit. Watching a master at work. It looks like he's caught up to Noodles a bit here as well. Wilco on this particular lap. He's got the quickest lap last time around of a 44.5. That is very, very pacey, and it looks like he's up again on his delta again on this lap.
Yeah, and they're just coming up to some traffic too, so come on boys, get out of the way please. Yep, well done.
Shawnee Fuller getting out of the way there, off to the left-hand side. And we'll stick with this lap for Maxi Naked Blade, our title sponsor out there, coming in with the incredible subs there. 5 Tier 1 subs. And we've updated that goal to 30 subs if you're out there and think we're doing pretty good. Or not all. Simon Bishop getting very close to Noodles. And look at this, and there's still a bit more traffic. Hello to Stone Harbour, who's just tuning in as well. But through the final part of the lap, bit of traffic in the way that could have a bit of a part to play here. Stone Towel making a little bit difficult there. Now he gets out of the way. We'll go to let these two through, but Simon is coming through as well.
See, this is what traffic can do. Catch him at the wrong point. It's cost Noodles there, P2. Now let's see what Simon can do. Can he catch up to Andrew and make him...
Let's return to our broadcast camera. And Noodles is not giving this up without a fight here. Let me tell you that much. And you can see here, this battle is all the while as well at the front. This is giving Andrew a chance to just creep away ever so slightly. But boy, every night we race here on KRL, Simon and Noodles, these two, Jason, are inseparable at the moment.
Yeah, no, they're very good drivers. Hope Exo gets it away. Beautiful. And yeah, they're very good drivers. Of course, Andrew, pick at the moment. I'll try some English. Been a long day. But yeah, he's sort of keeping that gap. If he can hold that around that second with about 10 minutes to go, he is home and home.
Well, Sidorg, of course, 44.5, that fastest lap. And the leader is distinct, Andrew, 1.7 seconds. This is the battle, but I know everybody will be watching at home thinking, what other battles are there? Well, here's a good battle. Rixie and Rain of Fire as well. Chuck Norris, they are closer than you can throw a bit of paper at. In fact, Rixie, just going in a little bit too hot there, and Rain of Fire dinking the backside. And that's a good battle we are witnessing before our very eyes here at the moment between these two.
It just went a little bit too deep into T1, couldn't quite pull it up, and Rain of Fire tried to go the kind of over-under in a way, and unfortunately just couldn't get it done right and ended up in the back of him. But no harm done, a bit of Robbins racing, and they're continuing on their way. But it's really good to see a Bentley out in the field with us using LFM BOP here. It kind of evens out all the manufacturers and stuff like that, so it gives everybody something to play for. So yeah, it is good to see a car that we would class as an ancient relic nowadays. Kind of like the dinosaur times, like you live in, Trev.
Yes, very funny indeed. You think you're funny, aren't you, with your little dinosaur jokes and all the rest of it? But you've been talking to Wilco for too long. As there we have it. Well, if there's any reason to get out of my caveman cave and come out and watch some racing, it's tonight. Chipper there, and Sniper and Shawnee all together there on the circuit. And Maxi Naked Blade says, good to see Noodles on track in ACC. And there's a little bit happening there. Crago, and who is that? Crago and Kilroy. Have we lost a Nissan somewhere? Because I'm not seeing Binger with his big Chungus yellow thing.
Yeah, he did message saying, I'm not sure how much of the race I'll be able to do. So he's on half the race. He was getting beaten by Mac, and he's now left with the tail between his legs, and the King's Racing driver 4.
Well, I tell you what, you can have bad days, but as long as you still leave with something between your legs, that you'll be doing pretty well. But let me tell you, we've ticked under the 17-minute mark. And it's still distinct, Andrew, into lap 24, and that battle's still continuing between these
Simon,
two.
2/10 faster that lap.
Simon is he creeping away, Jason? And who's Chuck put his money on? 4.3 thousand coins on Andrew to win. But like we saw last night, it's not over until it's completely over. Great work. Emotes are being delivered to the supporters. What's that mean? What does that mean, Chuck? Something happening with the emotes there here on the stream. Fantastic. As we might even get that KRL background back as we see the chat and the viewers coming back as well. 25 people. We're peaking here, Chuck Norris, on a Thursday Anzac Day night. 25 people watching this here this evening, and this is prime time grandstand blockbuster Netflix action. It's better than Netflix, isn't it, Chuck Norris?
Yeah, you couldn't agree more, Trev. I wouldn't want to be in a different place for my Thursday night. So if you're out there and you haven't yet followed the stream, please be sure to consider doing so. And if you do want to support the stream and support Trev, you can support by using a subscription, or you can use your bits as well.
Did I send it, or didn't send it?
Yeah, you
send it!
Send it, baby.
Stuff, guys.
Guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Match it there. 72% to Andrew, 20% to Sidorg, 8% to Noodles, and 0% to anyone else. And that really shows you that Andrew is the hot favourite here this evening. And if you heard me crying in the background, I think we've lost Matt Simmons, who's dropped off the timing boards. Jason, I'm not sure what has happened there to him.
Yeah, he, again, another one who hadn't done any real practice laps. That's why he might have been off the pace tonight. And he's driving the Lambo, which is yeah, interesting. Oh, Simon had a big moment there, but yeah, Matt. Well, I just saw him hits, and then he was moved on to say what's happened in the chat. Yeah, unfortunately, no go for Matt, but that has put my mate Mac up into P7.
And Mac leading his class there in P7.
Lexus too. Get your votes for driver of the day in, because I tell you what, that Lexus 2016, I think the version is, he's doing really well.
Can you believe we are approaching 14 minutes remaining, Chuck Norris, the end of round 1 of season 6. It's sad that it's ending, but just be happy that we've gone on this journey with us, because can you believe that it's almost the end of round 1 of a new season? But boy, have we've had some fun over the last couple of nights here. Great to have your company with us. And 23 people still with us, and Noodles having a moment. He's dropped back quite a bit there, Wilco, hasn't he? Oh, Noodles!
He's actually
having another moment there.
Behind Willstar, so I wonder if he, yeah, those tyres not changing.
And yep, we thank you, Wilco. We'll
Did I cut out again?
Yep. IKEA
okay,
sentences.
Well,
we've got all the pieces. We just need to put them together.
I'm done. I'm not talking the rest of the stream. Voodoo, you're up.
It's like a bit hieroglyphics, you know.
It doesn't have to get all
We've got everyone on everything at the moment.
Doesn't have to get all funny about it. But there we go. Lap 26. Oh, look at me. I'm gonna.
It's wrecking the stream.
Yeah.
I can't be talking.
As 13 minutes remaining, Andrew is where the money's at here at the moment. Chuck Norris, very difficult man to pass, but Simon Bishop, never rule out Simon Bishop, and we'll be chatting with him post-race. Chuck Norris in the post-race interviews, which is a world, like a press room, which we've made up. But it'll be great to chat with these drivers at the end of this race. And then Willstar now up into third. Many had this guy penciled in as a sure thing, not only for pole position, but for the race itself. But we haven't spoken about him much tonight.
Yeah, we haven't really spoken too much about Willstar and his achievements over the course of this race, but, you know, he's up into the podium position provisionally with, you know, say just over 12 minutes to go now, and he'll be thinking to himself, better circumstances I might have been a little bit further up in the podium, but yeah, he's kind of been that name that, I don't know, we've been so focused on, say, Andrew, Sidor, Noodles and Hainsey and the battle that was over the first, say, 30-40 minutes, but Willstar, yeah, he's just kind of crept up out of nowhere, and he's saying, hey, look, I'm on the podium, look at me go.
Well, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, and he is finishing off strongly here, 10.5 seconds behind Simon and Noodles there, 3.1 seconds. It looks less than that, doesn't it? But 3 seconds further back then, Hainsey, who's really dropped off everyone's radar here. Hainsey, he was right at the sharp end, and I'd ask Jason if he was still talking to us, but Hainsey, what has happened there? He will not be happy with that. Jason Wilkinson.
No, that's 2 nights in a row he'll be upset with so well. But he'll be right. He's a quick driver. Once he finds out that that consistency, he will be up there every single race.
As 24 people, thank you for that, Wilco. I was just sorry, I was just
I didn't cut out that time.
No, you didn't. But 27 laps. Let's recap for everybody still watching, Chuck. If they're out there watching and think, oh, what's this kid Byers and Chuck all about, and Jason, Justin, whatever your name is, what do they need to do out there watching? This is a new season. None better time, Chuck, to join the family.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if you're out there enjoying the stream and you haven't yet hit the follow button, definitely be sure to consider doing so. If you're also interested in possibly jumping in and getting involved in these races, we've got GT2s on Wednesday nights and obviously GT3s here on Thursday nights. Use !Discord for more information about that. If you want to get involved in the Endurance series, round 2's not too far away. !Endurance for more information about that.
Ooh, and Sniper, has he gone off there? Oh, and him and Chipper have got together, and that is a difficult part of the circuit. I think it's the bottom end of the foot, which is usually the heel there, and they have got together, Sniper and Chipper. Just waiting, there's a yellow flag out in that part of the circuit. We just went on board with them, didn't we, when that happened?
Oh,
and what is
Nick nearly got cleaned
what on
up.
earth is going on there? And Nick almost getting cleaned up as well there, Jason. So disaster for these two.
Yeah, I'm not sure I missed that, what happened. Going off the damage paddle pop Sniper had. He's a melted paddle pop at the moment, and he will be hopefully going into solidify himself.
And you'd like to think he needs to get back into the deep freeze, doesn't he? There's some damage on that rainbow paddle pop. Rain of Fire there, just writing to us saying, why is it at just about every time I race in KRL, I get taken out in the first lap or two, and then sit around, children, there's a story to tell here, and then end up wiping out near the end because I have to push so hard to try and get back to where I was. Angry face, Chipper and Sniper back in, but Rain of Fire not happy in the chat.
No,
definitely not.
it's not.
No, that's terrible, but for Rain of Fire. But no, I really should delegate who. Anyway, they're not travelling that well.
Yeah.
But no, not Chipper. Bad luck, Chipper. So close to the class win. Sometimes they don't go to plan, sometimes they do. It's always rough when something happens early on. Is EXO leading his class, Team Little Bear? Let's have a look. I think he might be leading his class. This man is leading easily, and the Sniper and Chipper, he could be home in this one, Wilco. Here in his particular class, EXO looking the goods with 7 minutes left.
Yes, he is, but yeah, still, 7 minutes is a long time around here, so you never know. EXO sneak that win, I'm sure he'd be a happy man. And Little Bear, if you still want, you've got some work to do next week when you make your KRL debut, because I just saw he signed up for GT2 mates, and they're racing.
And
Cactus. Oh, am I cutting out again?
All we heard was Cactus. And Team
Fill
Little
in the
Bear
blanks.
had predicted Noodles. He sure did. He's a VIP as well. 2-month subscriber badge. He's got his little green wheel there, doesn't he, in the chat? But that is fantastic. And we are averaging very good numbers here. So happy to see EXO leading his class for the win. And hopefully we can have a chat with him as well, Chuck Norris, post-race.
Yeah, that would be good to be able to have a chat with him and pick his brain and see how the Lexus feels, because yeah, he's doing quite well, seems to be handling the car quite nicely, and looks like he's smooth and steady, looking like he's going to carry away a win here.
And it's still Mac and Cheese going through there, Distinct Andrew, Zest, and Zest is really one that I thought would be further.
He had a stop-go penalty.
Of course he did, didn't he, earlier on. And that's why he's out of the equation there. He's still got good pace, though, as he gets very close, reacquainted with that wall. But 6 minutes to go. There's Nismo. He's had a interesting couple of nights, hasn't he? He was in the wars last night, and it hasn't been without incident here again. I think Chipper and Rain of Fire, they might be both done, I think. Wilco, you reckon? Both in the pit lane, both not coming out again?
Yeah, I think so, unfortunately.
And Andrew leads. Copy. And there we go. Nismo getting out of the way for his, his colleague, really, in a way, isn't it? Is he? He's one of the esports guys, of course, with Hoon Corp. And he gets out of the way. And the boss not getting involved there with Andrew. As lap 30 of this race, Simon, is there anything he can do? It might be a bridge too far. 3.7 seconds with 5 minutes remaining in this race. Willstar, so things starting to settle down, Chuck, but like Jason Wilkinson always says, all Crago having a moment, but still anything is possible. We saw last night Noodles and Simon getting busy on the last lap.
Yeah, exactly. So last night we saw things kind of shaken up last night on the last lap, and somebody coming through and taking a win throughout all that chaos. So yeah, something might happen, but the other part of me thinks that maybe Sidorg changed his tyres, and didn't put them into the right window. That's why he's struggling a little bit, and he's not able to claw back up to P1 there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting getting into the closing few minutes here.
I've always got to pick the right window. I never could on Play School many, many years ago. But Parker says, remember the windows? And there we go. Go Exo almost went the GTR leading up to this race. Glad he's doing so well. Team Little Bear, surprised not more Hondas on the grid. Best looking car out there. Guess fashion doesn't win races, but good looking and fashionable. You can be both, and you can be quick as well, as Craig goes there. What else is happening? JJ and Zest having a bit of a ding-dong here with 4 minutes left in this one. Onto the back straight now. And they're in their same class as well. And JJ coming through the inner loop, heading towards the outer loop there. Flying the Honda flag for you, my friend, says Rain of Fire. Past tense, of course, for Rain of Fire he was. He says, at least I was. And Maxi Naked Blade, who pretty much sponsors this show, says, go Exo. Funny guy in the chat. Good to see a result incoming. Lots of love for Exo in the chat. He's a top bloke, and it looks like he's going to get the result here, Chuck Norris, this evening. If he can last another couple of laps, he's going to bring that car home. And boy, everybody, here he is, Exo, the great man himself. There is going to be a lot of happy people in the paddock here tonight at the end of this race, and we might even have a chat to him as well. What do you reckon, Chuck?
Yeah, look, if he jumps in, I'm keen to hear his thoughts over the course of this race. But yeah, sitting P20 and P1 in the AM class is doing really, really well. So this will be another win for him to add on to the books.
As we begin the final countdown, I won't do it, but less than 3 minutes to go in this race. Let's get back to the sharp end of things. 32 laps gone. This lap and another one. Definitely another one after this penultimate lap of the race, you'd reckon. Sidorg in second. Willstar in third position. Fourth for Noodles. Hainsey in the wars a little bit earlier on. Figo as well. Have not seen much of him, Jason. He's kept quiet in the Lambo, and we've realised Matt in the Lambo as well. Not the easiest car to drive along with Saint Sim. But haven't spoken much about Figo this evening, have we? He's in P6.
Yeah, he's always a quiet achiever. If he's not at the front, top 3 or 4, he's just sitting there doing his own thing, P5, P6, P7. Great bloke too. And he's going to try and see P5. But another guy we haven't really spoke about tonight is someone, winner from last season, P14. So he's at a start. I'm sure he'll be bounced back for the next few races.
And I think we've got someone off. Jackie Press is off at the outer loop at turn 5. Managing to get it back, pointing in the right direction. I don't think there's a little bit of damage on the side of that Lexus, the number 3. But still going there. I think that Jackie Prez might be okay. New to this league, Wilco, for season 6.
Yeah, another one of the endurance drivers that have come across and jumped in KRL for the season, which has been good. So there's obviously him. We've also got JJ Norms, Jackie Prez, Stone Tao, I guess Chipper 10 as well. So there's a few board. Obviously Andrew as well, obviously the guy who's leading at the moment. He has been racing in the endurance series this year and currently leading overall, and looks like he's going to come through and take the win.
Well,
so Voodoo gets the money again.
Last time again, he gets the money again. He is racking up those coins. Matt Simmons has jumped into the chat. He's jumped out of his Lambo and he's jumped into our chat. The final countdown. You know all that stuff, Matt. He loves it. That was just for Matt, of course. And every time I say I'm going to pick a driver at random from the leaderboard and have a look at what's going on, it always seems to be Matt. But Simon as well. Hope Simon doesn't hear that. But boy, I'd love to head back into the archives. This is me going down into the archives to just find out the last time that a driver made their debut in KRL and won in KRL at their first attempt. I'd love to know.
Would have been. Did Will win his first race? No, definitely Gavea. He won his.
I think he might have won
Started
his
last
first.
year.
So
Yeah, I think Will might have been up there too.
it's happened before. I am better chatting than driving tonight. LOL. Don't be too hard on yourself there, Matt and Hank as well, and everyone everyone down there in Victoria, including myself as well. But Andrew comes through the final corner. He hasn't put a foot wrong tonight. He's been just in the right place where he's needed to be, and he wins this race on his KRL debut in the GT3, round 1 of season 6. Distinct Andrew takes the win. Simon Bishop finishes in second. Well done, Andrew. And well done to Simon as well. Will Star in third position. Noodles across the line as well. Hainsey is coming around towards approaching the final corner. Bring it home, Andrew. He sure did, says Smitty. Sidorg in the fez, says Matthew Simmons. Figo, look at this. Right up in Hainsey's business as those two cross the line. Mac and Cheese is going to win his class as well. Your man, Wilco, bringing it home here.
Yes, representing Kings Racing very well winning the Pro-Am class overall. Well done, Mr. Mac.
And here comes Nick now. He's behind Exo. But we're going to have a look at Exo as well, who's coming across the line to win his class as well. Nick crosses the line. Mark Ledwich coming through the final part of the lap here at the Glen in the beautiful state of New York. I think it's in New York, this track. And, well, that's what we're going to go with here at the moment. Kilroy through to finish his race. I think I won a total of 4K coins tonight. Great night, you must say. He's cleaned up. And thank you to Sidorg and Andrew. Sound effects are on me. Save them for the podium interviews, Chuck Norris, if you don't mind. There are your final results on your screen now. Andrew wins his class from Simon. Will Star, Noodles, Hainsey, Figo. Mac Miller for Kings Racing winning. There it goes. Bit of a delay there, but Simon has redeemed the champagne music. Nick in second, Mark in third, Kilroy fourth in his class, Stewie, Craigio, sideways polka, someone awesome down there after a big moment earlier on in the race. I think I just retire. He's going to do the Nico Rosberg and retire in equal machinery. Riggsy there, Zest, JJ, and a few other boys. Shawnee Fuller, the Englishman, and Exo winning this race. Good save you made, though. King Exo, all hail King Exo, says Rain of Fire. Did you bounce off the walls, says Simon Bishop. And we might have to jump across to Discord here, Chuck Norris, because they're streaming in for the post-race driver interviews. We might get this underway. And I think we've got Andrew, our race winner, in the pro class there. And Andrew, have you got us there?
Yeah, I got you, mate. All good.
Loud and clear, my friend. Well, talk us through that race. Where do we begin? Action everywhere you looked, mate, but winning on your KRL debut, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, no, thanks, mate. That was a really good race. A lot of very, very close racing there at the start. It was a little bit nip and tuck to make sure that we all got round without causing problems, but thankfully we all did. I made a little bit of a mess of my qualifying lap, actually. I'm not sure if you guys caught it, but I think it was my second fastest lap, which, if I hadn't have done what I did, probably could have actually got on the front row. But I come around the final corner, and I sort of let go of the steering wheel just a little bit too much, and I actually bounced off the outside wall. So that cost me a bit of time, and I don't know if I could have got on the front row. I don't think it would have, but you always wonder afterwards. But no, freaking starting top four, then obviously race start, getting by Noodles, I think it was. Then just trying to settle into third. I was trying to keep Simon and Hainsey honest. They were really fast. They were dropping me there for a little while. But then Hainsey sort of started to make a couple of small errors and then come back towards us. Obviously, then he was bringing Simon or backing Simon up to me. then in the bus stop, I don't know if he's just had a bit of a bad bounce off a curb, but Hainsey's made a bit of an error, and obviously he's hurt the car. That sort of took him out of contention, and then as a couple of laps later, as I'm trying to run down Simon, he basically does the exact same thing. So, definitely a little bit of good luck come my way for sure. But no, overall that was a lot of fun. I can't remember off the top of my head where we're off to next, but wherever it is, I look forward to it, and hopefully some more good racing just like tonight.
Fantastic. Beautifully summed up there, Andrew. Thank you for taking the time out post-race, mate, to have a chat with us. We know it gets pretty hectic during that race, mate, but congratulations winning on your KRL debut, and it's Imola next time around, so interested to see how the BMW goes there, mate. Congratulations, and we'll catch you next time around.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you to Distinct Andrew there, our race winner tonight, as we move along to the man in P2 in the end, 5.9 seconds further back in the Ferrari. Matt Simmons thought that was pretty funny, didn't he? But I speak of none other than Simon Bishop. And Simon, have you got us there, mate? Talk us through your race this evening. You've been pretty close to... You've had some pretty good battles the last couple of nights, mate, to open the new KRL season.
Yeah, it was good. Andrew summed it up pretty well. Yeah, I got a bit greedy with the curb and it cost me. But then what ultimately got me was I skied straight through my pit box. It was like the side dog of old. And so that murdered me in the stops, and then had to push really hard to try and catch back up. Ultimately, just cooked the tyres. But otherwise, a solid day. I spent my race looking at the back of a car, much like Noodles did yesterday to me. So it was kind of like reverse fortune for that. Hainsey was unlucky, but he did very well to not completely write the car off. And then, otherwise it was good. The Ferrari's an interesting car to drive, but different to all the other ones. So it's a challenge, but otherwise I'm looking forward to the next round, and we'll see how we go.
Yeah,
Great
so
work.
we missed the pits thing. We were assuming that you changed time, didn't. So there we go. So
I think everybody changed sides, but from what I could tell.
Yeah, well, it just looked a bit funny that you were the first to come out about 5 seconds behind, and but little me thinking you changed tyres and everyone else didn't cost me 200 kid coins. So thanks for that. But yeah.
Yeah, I won a
otherwise it was
lot
a good day.
off your pit stop too, so thank you.
Yes, great work. Thank you for that, Simon. We'll catch you next time around at Imola next week. Thank you.
See you next time.
Great work, Simon Bishop there, and thank you for that side org. And boy, we'll have to have an independent investigation, a bit like Red Bull, won't we, for the Nigerian Prince? I think he won everything that went up there tonight in the chat. But we move along to Will Star in P3, 12 seconds further back there in P3. Will, have you got us on the line?
I sure do. Is that a podium, boys? Is that a podium? That's a podium.
Always the highlight for everybody when they chat to us. Thank you, Zesto, for redeeming that one. Right, geez, that's so loud in my ears. But Will, talk us through the race, mate. P3 Noodles was applying some pressure there at the end, but you picked up the podium, and now you're up here chatting with us.
Yeah, I had a shit quali. I don't know, probably just a lack of practice, I guess. I decided to throw a different setup on a completely different setup on the car before quali, and then I had no clue how to do the bus stop. Took me probably half the race to work that out. I got a pretty average start. Both Zest and I think Figo jumped me, and then a couple laps in, I had Zest towing me up the front straight and managed to get back past Figo, and I was following Zest till he binned it. And then I was sort of on my own pretty much the whole race. And then I came up to Hainsey, who also binned it, and I slowly drove up to Noodles, who also binned it, and then I was sort of cruising home from there. So not much action from me. I just sort of drove and ended up in third.
Well, that is a very good way to good approach to take, mate. But you finished P3 in the end. It worked for you. A quick word on Imola next week, mate. How are you going to go around there for round 2 of this championship, mate?
Oh, hopefully go all right. I like Imola. It's a pretty fun track. I haven't driven it for quite a while, and I had to go watch some footage because I was in the lobby and some guys were 1-2 seconds quicker than me, especially in the last two sectors, and it turned out I wasn't using any of the track limits. So once I sorted that out, I found like a fair bit of time. But yeah, hopefully go good. Looking forward to it.
Great stuff. We are too, mate. Thank you for giving us your time up following the race, mate. P3 tonight in your class. We'll catch you next time around.
Always. Cheers, fellas.
Great stuff. And I'm looking here, Chuck Norris. Who else have we got? We've got Nick. Nick is with us, and mate, you finished in P2, I believe, in your class. Give us a rundown of how you saw things out there at Watkins Glen tonight.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mixed race for me. Pretty good qualifying, some quick times out there, but I was happy with my qualifying time and was having a really good first half of the race. Battling out with a few guys. I had Riggsy behind me for quite a while in the Bentley, I believe, which is a rocket ship on the straight, which in turn it gave him a little bit of I think an optimistic chance of a pass through that high-speed chicane down the fast straight. I think he stuck his nose up a little bit late and just tapped me through the chicane, and then as I went through trying to hold it through the grass, he was through the chicane, and as I came back on track, he just hit me again, spun me off track. But that just caused me to pit a few laps earlier than I wanted to with a bit of damage, about 5 or 6 seconds damage. Decided to fix it and change tyres and just get out for some laps. Came back out and just got into it. Didn't feel super quick, but was comfortable, and just ended up back in the top 10 towards the end of the race, and just trying to hold my position. Pity I couldn't get the win for Pro-Am. I think it could have been definitely on if it not for being turned around, but that's just the racing. But yeah, good fun. Looking forward to next week.
Great stuff. Thank you, Nick. It didn't quite go your way at certain parts of that race, mate, but you recovered brilliantly, ending up in P2 in your class in the Porsche this evening, mate. We'll catch you next time around next week at Imola.
Certainly will.
Great stuff, Nick there. How good is this? Wilco as well. 60-plus drivers with us over the first opening week of the new KRL season. We have Exorcist with us as well, taking the victory and very much the people's champion here this evening. Exo, if you've got us there, mate, speak now or forever hold your peace. Talk us through your race. The viewers were going off. They wanted plenty of Exo to go around, and you got the job done tonight.
Hey guys, how are we? Another great race with some really great drivers, and another great stream by the sounds of that. Thanks to all those people that gave me some encouragement out there. I was hearing it from Rain of Fire that there was some people back of me, so that was great to hear. I was in the Lexus tonight, and I found it quite challenging actually. The last 10 minutes, she was like driving a piece of soap around. I didn't change my tyres. I thought, I'll just go out there and, I won't worry about that 5 seconds I lost, but I lost about 20 seconds in the last lap already. But anyway, it was good fun. And another great race again. The KRL boys, you can't beat them, boys. It's just great fun in the chat, fun. That's how it should be. And also, I just wanted to add. Being Anzac Day, to lest we forget all those people that fought for our countries, New Zealand and Australia, and may we never forget their importance of what they did for our freedom.
Great work, Exo. Beautifully summed up there. A very important day, of course, on the calendar as well, mate. And you took the win for your fans, mate. Boy, they're still going in the chat, but plenty of support out there for yourself, mate. A terrific race tonight. And, fantastic result for yourself. And plenty of people very happy for you, mate. Thanks for joining us as well.
Thanks, Trev. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Voodoo. Legends in the com box, lads. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Great work. Thank you, Exo. How good is it, Exo there? Lest we forget. Thank you, Smitty, as well. If you do want to join, if you want to race Wednesday, Thursday nights, GT2 and GT3, all the information is in the chat. Discord for more info, and also info on the Endurance series, which I think is also at Imola. a little bit later on in a
bit
couple
of a
of
weird
weeks.
clash, but oh well.
In a couple of weeks' time. Makes it good if you want to get some extra practice laps in. I think we've got Nismo Nath, do we, Jace? I
Yep,
think
the boss.
the boss has joined us. I've lost my leaderboard, so he'll have to tell me where he finished.
Second in class.
Second in your class. That is fantastic. Nismo, have you got us there?
Yeah, boys, how are you?
Fantastic. A little bit nervous when the boss comes into the chat, but no, there we go. Nismo, talk us through that race, mate. How you saw it. You were in the wars a little bit there, mate, but managed to get a P2 in your class in the end. Are you happy about that?
Yeah, I got no idea how I managed it, to be fair, because, I mean, you wouldn't know it from the race I had. I was, yeah, like you say, in the wars, mate. It was, I had a fair few. The opening stanza was pretty good there. Had a few close calls, but nothing major. Bit of damage, but, you know, we soldiered on, and, yeah, then just that bus stop's just been a problem all weekend, well, all week, I suppose. And eventually it bit me, and that was it really. The rest of the race I was just circulating and you know, sort of hoping to benefit on a few other people's misery. So yeah, look, it's I think one of the issues too is that obviously I'm still so new to ACC, you know, comparatively. We're still circulating some of these tracks that I've never raced before, like Watkins Glen. I've never raced it before in ACC, whereas you guys did it last season in Aussie NZ. So I think Imola's probably the first track where I've actually raced there already, because we did the GTRs last year. So I'm actually going in with a bit of track knowledge. So yeah, it's just one of those things. The more I race, obviously, I'll start running out of tracks that I've never driven before. But you know, while it's still happening, it is a bit of a pain. But hey, look, I'll take second with both hands, mate.
Great work, mate. It's a fantastic effort. Obviously, next week heading to Imola, a more familiar track for you. So looking forward to that.
Well, yeah, it's a bit of a double whammy too, because obviously running the Aston in both KRL and NZ. So the practice that I'll be doing is going towards both the sprint and the endurance stuff. So it's a bit of a multitask, to be fair, getting some of the data and the numbers.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, mate. It's not too far between until round 2, mate. But thank you for joining us second in your class. And yes, that's me liking all of your stuff on Instagram. I'm not stalking you, mate, but it's fantastic to see. Thank you for joining us. The owner of Hoon Corp as well, the boss joining us. Thank you for joining us. We'll catch you next time around.
No, appreciate it, boys, and thanks again, Smitty, for being Mark Larkham in the com box.
And boy, there's a Mrs. Nismo who's jumped into the chat. Mrs. Nismo has sent us first-time chatter. Mrs. Nismo, Chuck Norris, if you're there, can you please tell Mrs. Nismo what she needs to do? Maybe Mr. Nismo could tell her as well if he's closer. But please follow if you haven't already, and that would be fantastic. As Smitty saying, no worries, mate. I'm a better engineer than driver. Great work there, Smitty, and all the Hoon Corp Esports boys. And they do fantastic work. But we're almost out of time. I think we'll go for another week. But what a successful opening round we've had to start the new season. 60-plus drivers and plenty of action over the 2 nights for GT2 and GT3.
Yeah, no, it's been a good start to the KRL season. Why we love. Yeah, only do a couple a year now, as we said last. Turnout, and yeah, everyone gets behind the KRL banner, and yeah, we had some good racing. All next week for Imola.
Cannot wait. Chuck Norris, the man who doesn't do push-ups, he simply pushes the earth down. How about how have you seen things in the opening week of KRL? Success right across the board, Chuck?
Oh, absolutely. Killer battles and great finishes all the way through. And it's been a good week so far with the GT2s, and now GT3s wrapped up. So looking forward to Imola in a week's time. Yeah, hopefully we see some good battles like we've seen this week.
And round 2 kicks off May 1st, of course, next Wednesday night for the GT2s at Imola, followed by May 1st and May 2nd for round 2. at the San Marino. It's not called San Marino anymore, is it? There at Imola, but that'll be fantastic. And we are very much looking forward to your company next week. That is our lot here for this evening. That's a wrap here for the opening round of the new season. If you do want to get involved, it's in the chat. Wednesdays and Thursday nights from 8 p.m. Eastern Australian time. Head to Discord for more information for that and the Endurance Series. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing this to you this evening. Everybody involved in the chat, all of the subscriptions, follows, you name it. We've had a blast. Be kind to one another. We'll see you next time around for Imola in a week's time. Have a good one. Goodbye.